everyone, welcome back to Alice on the Giant Bookshelf. Today I'm going to be doing the Cosy Autumn Book Tag. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today I'm going to be doing the Cosy Autumn Book Tag, and I was tagged in this tag by the lovely Nikki at Red Dot Reads. I urge you to go and check out her channel. I'll link it down below in case you haven't checked it out already. And Nikki makes lovely videos about books, as well as some really interesting vlogs with the sights of Singapore in them. So I do recommend checking out her channel. This tag was originally created by the Book Bell, whose channel I will also link in the description down below. So do go and check those two channels out. And today's video is all nice and cosy and autumnal, and I do love the season of autumn. We used to sing a hymn at school called Autumn Days, and it always comes into my head as soon as autumn even slightly appears. Used to love singing that song. The other thing that comes into my head in autumn is a bit of Taylor Swift and the song All Too Well, which has a line about autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place. So I've had that in my head pretty much on repeat for weeks. Do love autumn, so let's get cozy with this autumn book tag. There are 10 prompts today. Let's get straight into them. So question 1 is, what book always reminds you of fall or autumn? I found this question quite tricky. I eventually decided that one that definitely reminds me of autumn, because you have to read it in autumn because of that time of year, is Agatha Christie's Halloween Party, which I reread last month. Obviously this is set in October. There is some really nice writing about nature in a garden in autumn time in this book as well. I can't think of anything else off the top of my head apart from a children's book. I actually bought this originally to read to reception age children, and I used it also in my time in preschool with 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, and it's such a lovely little board book that I discovered about autumn, and it's called Leaves, and this one's by David Ezra Stein, and it's about a bear who, it's his first year and he doesn't quite know what to do about autumn, and he ends up obviously hibernating. And it's just a really lovely book to read to young children, to get sort of autumn ideas across with them about leaves and about hibernation. And it's just such a lovely simple board book. I'd highly recommend this if you wanted to buy an autumnal book for a toddler or a young child. Really lovely little board book to share with children. I also do have somewhere another children's book called Fergus and the Falling Leaves, which is very similar. It's about a little fox who notices his favourite tree is losing its leaves, and he gets really sad about this, and it's a lovely story. I'll try and put a picture of that up here. If you are looking for a book about autumn to read with your child, who is probably between the ages of maybe 3 and 6 or 7, it's a lovely book to read. I've copped out by recommending children's books, but children's books are a bit more blatantly about autumn than adults' books. If you have any autumn books to recommend to me, please do recommend them in the comments down below, because I would love to read some more autumnal books. Question 2 is, what is your favourite autumnal book cover? And my favourite autumnal book cover is actually on a book that I've also read quite recently, and that is Bookworm. And this cover might not be directly autumnal, but it reminds me of autumn because the tree doesn't have very many leaves on it, and the leaves that it does have on it are kind of golden in colour, and you can see in the tree all different story characters as well. So I love this book, and I love this book cover. It's so beautiful, and I think it's quite autumnal as well. Maybe not the most autumnal looking book in the world, but I saw it and I thought, yeah, that's quite autumnal. I really love this cover. It's absolutely beautiful. So question 3 is, what is your favourite autumnal drink to read with? Probably a cup of tea. Cup of tea doesn't really let you down throughout any of the seasons. Always enjoy a cup of tea. Personally, I enjoy, like we'd call it over here, builder's tea. Just fairly strong tea made with a tea bag and milk and no sugar for me. That's my favourite tea. In autumn time, I always think it's quite nice to cosy up with a cup of hot chocolate, but I haven't really done that yet this year because I am on a low potassium diet that doesn't really allow me much chocolate. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be having many hot chocolates this year. Question 4. Do you prefer to read late at night or early in the morning? Well, I am 100% a night owl. I'm not an early morning person. However, lately I've been really enjoying reading when I wake up rather than reading before I fall asleep. So I do like reading at night, but I find that, like, given the chance, I would just stay awake reading all night, but I tend to have to put the light out and go to sleep because my husband doesn't want to stay up all night with the light on and me reading. Yeah, lately I have been really enjoying reading in the morning. Would I say it's early in the morning? No. Whenever I wake up, I'll read a bit in bed before getting up lately, so I've been enjoying a bit of both, but I wouldn't describe it as early in the morning, so probably late at night. I am a night person. Question 5 is a little tiny bit out of date because I'm doing the tag too late. As Halloween is coming, what is your favourite spooky read? Wow, my favourite spooky read that I read this year was a ghost story by Charles Dickens called The Signalman. Highly recommend this little short story if you like a sort of spooky ghost story to put you on edge. Another book that I found really spooky when I first read it was Agatha Christie's The Hound of Death, and this is a short story collection of some of Agatha's more supernatural stories. And there was one story in there, I think it's called Wireless, that I was really nervous about what it was going to be about beforehand. I didn't want to read it alone in the house, but when I did read it, it was actually fine. It was a much better story than I thought, but also nowhere near as scary as I thought. So that's a really good spooky read that I would recommend as well. Number 6 is, what is the ultimate comfort read for you? Well, last week I think it was, or the week before, I did the comfort reading tag, so I do recommend checking that out for all of my comfort reads, and I will put a little card up here somewhere for you to have a look at that if you'd like to. I explained in that video that I actually find mysteries very comforting, even though they might not be to most people, particularly murder mysteries. Probably my ultimate comfort reads would be between picking up an Agatha Christie for comfort, or one of my ultimate comfort reads, The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I just find this book so uplifting and so beautiful. But it's not a very autumnal book, so I don't know. I find this book quite springtime, summertime-ish. Anyway, so question 7 is, what is your favourite autumnal reading snack? I don't think I really have one that's particularly autumnal. I do enjoy snacks while reading. I'd say probably the most autumnal we're going to get is maybe popcorn. I like eating popcorn while reading. I like lots of eating unhealthy things while reading. Crisps are great too. Can't think of any foods that are really specifically autumnal that I love eating while reading though. Yeah. I don't really have a good answer to that question. I also don't really have a good answer to question number 8. What is your favourite autumnal candle to burn whilst reading? I've never particularly been that into candles anyway, and I can't really burn any at the moment because Harry really objects to them, don't you, Harry? Yeah, I had some tea lights that I lit in the pumpkin that I made for Halloween, which I'll put a picture up here if I can. That's really the main time of year when I light a candle, is in my carved pumpkin. But this year when I was lighting it, Harry just absolutely hisses as soon as I strike the match. He really doesn't like the little bit of fire that I've created. So yeah, so I haven't really been burning candles much while Harry's been here. Have I, Harry? Don't like candles, do you? Question number 9 is, when you're not reading, what is your favourite autumnal activity? I think one of the best autumnal activities to do is go for a lovely autumn walk and look at the beautiful trees, beautiful leaves. The nature at the moment is just so lovely. I watched a couple of really great versions of this tag where people actually went outside and showed us some autumnal stuff. So I do recommend you check those out, and I'll link them in the description down below as well. And that was Becky at Teacup the Storyteller filmed her video outside, and it was beautiful autumn colours in Becky's garden where she'd filmed. And Sandy at Miss Reads a Lot filmed a lovely version of this tag where she had a new hat and she went out to the park and read there, and it was beautiful autumn colours in that park as well. Today, as I'm filming this, it is raining and pretty horrible in the south of England, so yeah, wouldn't recommend going outside in the autumn today. When it's rainy in autumn and it's not a going outside kind of day, my favourite autumnal activities would have to be crochet and puzzles. I absolutely love jigsaw puzzles. I haven't actually done any jigsaw puzzles since about February, so looking forward to sort of puzzle season, which is maybe even a bit more into winter, I suppose. And I am looking forward to doing a bit more crochet, because since I crocheted Poirot up here, I haven't actually done any crochet since, I don't think. So I would like to do some more crochet, and that's a really good indoor autumnal activity. We're on to the final question, question 10, which is, what is on your autumn or fall reading list? Wow, you've seen my autumn reading list quite a few times now, I think. I had quite a large November TBR because I'm trying to get my giant physical TBR down to under 200, which I had reached 200 in my last video. I had quite a few books for non-fiction November, and I had quite a few books for novellas in November. At the moment, I am currently reading the lovely The Art of Racing in the Rain, which I'm buddy reading with Gemma at Gem of Books and really enjoying. Also currently reading Come Tell Me How You Live by Agatha Christie Malawan, which is her archaeological memoir. So I've just started that one and that seems to be really good. I'm also looking forward to reading a book called Bookworm, which is a non-fiction about books. I'm looking forward to reading one of my husband's books, Slaughterhouse 5 by Vonnegut, and The Day of the Triffids, which I got in the BookTube Spin number 4, which I'm also looking forward to reading this autumn. Probably should have had that pile of books with me, but I didn't. That brings us to the end of the Cosy Autumn book tag. If you haven't done this tag yet, I tag you. I'm not sure who else has done it, but if you haven't done this tag yet, it's a lovely time of year to do it. As well as that, I'm going to tag Ellie at the Personal Cosy Project 2021. I hope I've got her channel name right this time, because last time I tagged her I messed it up. So Ellie, if you'd like to do this tag, I know you love all things cozy, so I thought I would tag you. I'm also going to tag Gem of Books because we are currently buddy reading together and I'm really enjoying our buddy read. I'm tagging Gem in this Cosy Autumn book tag as well. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Please do give it a like if you enjoyed it and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'd love to hear from you in the comments about your cosy autumn reading preferences, and I will hope to see you all again soon for another video all about books here on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Bye for now.